We are back at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland for Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports. Hi again, everybody. I'm Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Our summer hiatus is over. And you know, John, you might not have the hype of Las Vegas here in the Ballroom. There will be no World Championships decided here. But this is the real deal. This is boxing at its purest.
Well, this is boxing at the grassroots level, as we said many times, Larry. And what you're going to get here in Maryland, fair, honest, competitive boxing, and usually a dash of unpredictability, which is what people want to see.
And it's our pleasure tonight to have Hall of Fame trainer Lou Duva with us. And Lou, you got to respect the atmosphere, for crying out loud. This is how you grew up in the business.
This is how I grew up, is right. In catering halls and Farters Grove and high schools and all that. This is the greatest thing in the world. It's a night out for everybody. They put on good shows over here. Scott Wagner does a great job over here. That's why I said, I'm getting on that Amtrak. I'm going down to see the fights.
We're glad to have Lou Duva joining us tonight, and we're glad to have you with us as well. Our first fight is coming up after a timeout. Welcome back to ringside here in the Ballroom. Larry Michael, Jon Saraceno, Lou Duva. And another fight in the ring, two big heavyweights. Let's get the official Budweiser introductions from Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission, Chairman Carl N. Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Pamela, and Ballroom Boxing of Glen Burnie, Maryland, promoter Scott Wagner and matchmaker Josh Hall present this 4-round bout in the heavyweight division. The referee in charge will be Bill Holmes. Judging the bout, Gary Campaneschi, Kenny Chevalier, and Malik Waleed. Introducing the boxers. First, to my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed in gold, weighing 215.5 pounds, from Hyattsville, Maryland, making his professional debut. Please welcome Dasean Hitman Harper. Out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks trimmed in black. He is 6'8", 208 pounds, from Washington, D.C., with a record of 1-1, won by KO. Please welcome Carl Sergeant Bad Boy Brown.
Jon Saraceno, let's take a look at the matchup, and boy, two very, very tall, large boxers.
We're calling this one the Empire State Building against the Sears Tower. Carl Brown, 6'8", Dasean Harper, 6'5". Harper making his pro debut, younger fighter, both pretty green fighters.
Lou, Dasean Harper had a real good amateur career. He's obviously well conditioned, not a lot of fat on him. We'll have to wait and see how he turns out as a pro.
Well, I know he's got a good trainer in his corner. He's got the Charles Mooney, who was a heck of an amateur fighter, great amateur fighter, and you got to give him an advantage of that if he transposed some of his training over to him.
Carl Brown, Jon Saraceno, has not fought since 1995. He's in the military. It doesn't look like he has a lot of ring rust, though, coming out.
The difference is, though, fighting in the gym, even though he's learning his lessons or relearning them in there, and fight night, Lou, two different things, right? Sometimes guys can choke up, they don't carry it over.
Absolutely. And this is Harper's first fight, you know, so he'll press for a little while, and then all of a sudden he'll realize that he's in front of a crowd here, you know.
Now, Lou, coming up in November, you have Andrew Galata fighting Michael Grant. Now, Galata is a big heavyweight, but he's going to have to look up to Grant. What is the challenge of looking up against a guy the size of Brown, in this case, in the ring, and Michael Grant for your man, Galata?
I got him wearing high heels that night.
Oh, yeah. Nice right hand by Harper.
I hope they're color coordinated with his trunks, Lou.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting a neck ache looking up at these guys. They are tall.
No, listen, throw him a basketball. See what happens.
Good crunching right hand by Harper. I'm telling you, when Brown came into the arena, I thought he was a professional basketball player. He was long and lean and tall.
Well, Harper calls himself the Hitman, and of course we know where everyone where he got that nickname from, Tommy Hearns, but even Hearns wasn't that tall. But he could punch.
Harper just missed with the right hand. Now, Brown doing a pretty good job right now, Lou. I was expecting Harper to show a little more aggression.
If Brown's in condition, he's gonna give Harper all he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, he's using his jab more. That's why. The other guys, I'm surprised that he's not using his jab more, because Mooney was a good jabber.
Nice right cross by Harper, right on the chin. Carl Brown. Another big right. Brown is wobble.
I almost chased him out of the ring.
He almost knocked the third row over.
Brown a little wobbly right now.
Lou, what's a young fighter got to do right now? Hold on? Or can he?
Yeah, well, can he? That's the whole thing, right? That's the whole thing, can he?
Closing seconds of round one. Can Brown hold on?
Can he? Yeah, he can do it. He can do it. You know, it's just what experience he's got.
Well, figuratively
right
he did.
Yeah.
Big round one for Dasean Harper in his pro debut. Back with more in the ballroom.
All right, here we see a cleanup shot coming by Harper. As you see already, Brown stumbling backwards, unable to withstand the blows there at the end of the first round.
Round two underway. And let's see if Brown has cleared his head. I think if round one had gone 30 seconds longer, Lou, Brown might have been knocked out.
Yeah, I think the problem here is, Larry, you know, even though he's 6'8", he's 208 pounds. That's pretty light.
Got a Saraceno-like frame.
Yeah, but he's better looking.
No, you got a better body, John.
I tell you what.
Harper following up here now. I think he senses that Brown cannot withstand the pressure.
He does not want to let this guy off the hook. He is all over him early here in the second round. But I tell you what, give Carl Brown some credit. He's still trying to fight his way back in. He is getting hit a lot. Well, you see the jab here with Harper. Lou, you mentioned earlier you were disappointed not to see Harper jab more. Looks like he's picking that up a little bit.
Yeah, he's got it, especially since he's smaller than the other guy. He's got to jab his way in. Let me tell you something. Brown is coming on. I like what he's doing, you know?
Nice right hand by Brown there, just Lou, as you were saying that.
He's trying. Listen, I think his physical outlook is worse than his punching ability, you know?
Well, Lou, we've talked about it before. Anybody that gets in the ring, you got to give them some due, no matter what kind of attempt they put out, what kind of talent they have. It takes courage just to step between the ropes.
Absolutely. Anybody that walks up those stairs, Larry, fighting, it's not only boxing, it's for the rest of his life. I mean, he knows what to do in times of when negotiations and in time of being disciplined. This is all goes into this here. This is what goes into your life when you're a boxer.
I'll tell you one thing I've seen here in the second round is that Carl Brown has gone to the body a lot better, and that has slowed up Harper a little bit.
Yeah.
This fight is scheduled for 4 rounds and a good round 2 for Carl Brown. Who would have thunk that after round 1?
Yeah, I'm saying that. I said he's shown more experience, more ability than Harper.
Yeah, I think Harper's a little bit surprised that Brown has come
this
back.
guy come back, right?
Yeah, yep. That's discouraging for a fighter psychologically.
Because see the jab he's using?
And he got out of the way of the right hand, did Brown.
Yeah.
Ducked it. See him going to the body there, Lou, downstairs?
Yep, absolutely right.
And Brown is hitting to the body.
Let me tell you something.
Harper doesn't like it.
You got to fight here.
Hey,
You got to
turn it
fight.
around.
Absolutely, you got to fight.
Don't go away. More Ballroom Boxing coming right at you. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports, brought to you by Toyota. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno and the legendary trainer Lou Duva. And the fourth man of our crew, is the beloved Jon Scheinman. John, how do you have it scored through 2?
I'll tell you something, guys. I'm glad I got my elevator shoes on here tonight for the post-fight interview, but I got it 19-18 for Harper. I thought he won the first round 10-8 with a good knockdown, but he looked gassed at the end of the second round, and methodical Carl Brown, like Jon Saraceno said, did some wonderful body work, and he's back in this fight.
Elevator shoes. He may need the whole elevator.
Good left hook by Harper. And Lou, you noticed in the corner after round 2, Harper was really gassed. He was sucking wind.
Watch, he's going to get hit with a combination, and it's
great body work by Carl Brown.
Now watch Harper start holding.
Harper is wincing with the body shots.
Yep.
He's in trouble.
It's turned the whole fight around.
Trouble around. Look at him. He's in trouble.
He's not even barely throwing. One shot at a time. That's it. He's trying to protect those ribs, isn't he, Lou?
Absolutely.
What a huge win this would be for Carl Brown after being inactive for 4 years in the military.
Yep.
And you got to wonder, that military training, you know, they teach you that kind of instinct survival.
Look at the body work.
I think he's doing a number on Harper right now.
You can't get careless, though.
Nope.
Oh, good left hand bounces off the skull of Brown. Big right hand by Carl Brown hurts Harper.
Well, he's got Harper totally defensive.
Harper's out, John. He's got no energy left.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you, he's in trouble right now, Harper.
Yeah, he's got to go for him right now, doesn't he?
That's right. This guy's fighting a good fight.
Another clubbing right hand.
Boy, the way...
Big right hand right on the butt.
He's ready to go, baby. He's ready to go.
Great strategic attack by Carl Brown.
There he goes.
Just dismantling Dasean Harper. And his legs are rubbery. Harper's legs are rubbery.
Swelling under the left eye of Harper. But right now, it's not bothering him. Excuse me, Carl Brown.
John, you look at Carl Brown, right? He looks like another Maurice Harris who just beat Jeremy Williams.
Good point.
And he's up there training with Lennox Lewis.
Lou, could you use a guy like Carl Brown to come into camp to imitate Michael Grant?
Absolutely, that's a good suggestion. Now I'm going to see if I can get him.
Harper just out of gas. He's about to go. I wonder if Brown has enough. Closing moments of the 3rd round.
You know what, though? It doesn't look like he's actually hurting him, Lou, with those punches. I mean, he's not really hurt. He's exhausted.
His eyes are clear. Another big shot at the bell. Another big round for Carl Brown. Back with the final round of these 2 game heavyweights after this.
He's quitting. Done it.
Jon Saraceno, the body attack by Carl Brown really has turned this fight around.
Well, that was the difference. He really started in the 2nd round, Larry, and he's taken over the fight with it.
That's right. Now watch this round here. This is the career of Harper on the line right now.
Good point.
Whether he comes back or not.
Very quickly, Jon Scheinman, your scorecard.
All even, 28-28 going into the final round. It's up for grabs.
Big right hand by Harper, turns it around, and down goes Brown.
That's it. Punching.
What a turnaround. Can Brown get up?
And this is what we get, the Ballroom Boxing Series, a twist of events when you least expect it. The fight's over.
All over.
What a come from behind win by Dasean Harper.
It was right there. This is the round whether he was going to show something.
You called it, Lou, and he did.
Yeah.
Showed it big time.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at the end. It came quickly.
You seen him with a straight right hand.
Right on the bridge of the nose.
And there
another
was the
one.
shot. It was that second right hand that caught him right on the nose, it looked like. Really stung him.
That makes the home crowd happy. Dasean Harper from Hyattsville, Maryland. Likes what they saw on that punch, Luke. Good comeback from the young man.
The shot heard round Philadelphia. Wow. Yeah, Malik Walid is telling us here at ringside. Well, I'll clean up his language. The darndest thing he's ever seen, a guy come back like that. It looked like he was totally out of the fight.
You can see the eye there, John.
Yeah, there's that
Carl Brown.
Yep.
He should have got 2 free throws after that one.
That was a 4-point play.
A dramatic end to this heavyweight contest. Let's get the official time from Pat.
The winner by knockout at 30 seconds of round 4. He's no longer a rookie. Dasean Hitman Harper.
Harper is exhausted. I think he learns he's got to maybe get in a little better shape for these fights, huh, Lou?
That's right. He better get in shape. Because if he's in this condition right now where he's a good puncher, but if if the guy slips a punch, it's a whole different ball game.
The first punch hurt. Second punch, same punch, followed with a left hook, and that was turn out the lights time for Carl Brown.
Welcome to Michael's 8th Avenue Ballroom Boxing.
Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports. A reminder, the next Ballroom Boxing card here at Michael's, November 18th, later this year. For tickets, call Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland, or check us out on the web, www.ballroomboxing.com. Let's go to Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission, Chairman Carl Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Pinella, and Ballroom Boxing on Michael's 8th Avenue, promoter Scott Wagner, matchmaker Josh Hall, present this 6th-round bout in the cruiserweight division. The referee in charge will be Gary Campaneschi. Judging the bout, Kenny Chevalier, Bill Holmes, and Don Risher. Introducing the boxers. First, to my left, out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks and the broad white stripes, weighing 189 3/4 pounds, from Worcester, Massachusetts, with a record of 9-10-4. Please welcome Roy Payne. Out of the blue corner, to my right, wearing the black trunks with his nickname written on them, weighing 188 pounds, from New Carrollton, Maryland, with a record of 10-7, Darryl, triple threat, Holloweel.
Height and reach disparity favoring Roy Payne, a taller fighter. And when you look at Darryl Holloweel, 38 years old, you think, geez, he's got old guy. But you know what? He's a physical freak. And I tell you what, did your abs look like that when you were 38, Larry?
And they look that way now, John.
I saw Larry. Boy, are you kidding?
He likes that Greek food, Lou.
Yeah, I like Italian food too. Greek, Italian, Chinese, I love it all. That's my problem. Darryl Holloweel had one of the great comebacks here in the ballroom about a year ago against Courtney Butler. A comeback, an 8th-round TKO of the highly touted Courtney Butler. And Holloweel, John, is the prototypical ballroom boxing fighter.
Well, he's got a lot of experience. He's a guy who's going to be there. He's not going anywhere. He's in tremendous physical condition. This is a pretty even matchup, at least on paper.
Both these guys, good physical specimens, Lou.
They looked at, I mean, the range factor, throw that out. I mean, they look like they know what it's all about.
It's hard to tell the two apart. I guess the triple threat on the front of the trucks of Holloweel is the lone distinguishing difference. The white waistband belongs to Holloweel as well.
Well, it would be to Holloweel's advantage to get Payne into the 5th or 6th round, because in 23 pro fights, Payne really has been a 4-round fighter. He's only gone 6 rounds twice, Larry.
They have one common opponent, Courtney Butler, knocked out by Holloweel. A 4-round decision loss by Roy Payne back in 1994. Now Payne has some recognizable fighters on his record. Ramon Garbe, one of them, the Cuban.
Cuban, right? That defected.
Well, in this first round, Holloweel jabbing to the body, going downstairs, trying to establish something with that jab from the outside.
Punch out of there. Let's punch out.
Well, punching on the clinch, huh?
Now Payne looking to the corner, looking to his corner man Pepe Correa, and eating a glove at the same time.
A little bit of trash talking between the two fighters.
Big overhand right by Holloweel, and Payne is in pain.
Yeah, this is turning nasty very early here.
Yeah.
He buckled his legs, Lou.
Yeah, he's throwing that right hand right over his jab. The guy's throwing a slow jab out there.
Holloweel with the quick punch, and 38 years old. John said he's a physical freak. I think he is. The guy looks like he's about 28.
Yeah, incredible.
Absolutely
Works out
right.
constantly. Bicycles 60 miles a week. They're going at it here, Lou, here in the first round. No feeling out process at all.
These guys came to fight.
I tell you, I've seen pay-per-view shows with a lot less action than this.
You're absolutely right.
Another sharp right hand. Wobbles the legs. And again, Payne wobbly.
And again, Holloweel going to the body early in the fight.
Oh, these guys are just throwing from the floor.
Well, Hollowell's a pretty good counter puncher.
He's got his right hand. He don't throw straight punches. He loops his punches.
This combination by Holloweel.
Lou, once a fighter throws punches in that kind of a style, or well, we'll come back to it after the round.
Back with Lou Duva in Ballroom Boxing after a timeout. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, presented tonight by our very good friends at Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno and Hall of Fame trainer Lou Duva. Round two here. Darryl Holloweel going up against Roy Payne. Holloweel in the black trunks with the white waistband.
Lou, you observed in the first round that Holloweel likes to loop his punches. Is there any way, once a fighter has already established himself and has a particular style, that you can break him of a habit to get him to throw straighter punches, or is it he just has his mind made up and that's the way he's going to fight?
I'll tell you something. I think he's a little shorter than the other guy, you know, and he's dropping down and then he's looping it over a slow jab. That's the right way to do it. You couldn't throw a straight right hand from that position.
But generally speaking, if a guy has a habit and he's been fighting a number of years, how difficult is it? You know, people say, gee, why doesn't his trainer have him do this? The guy's already a made fighter.
Usually, you know, it's always been a question, John. You know, you get hit, and then you forget everything that your trainer taught you, and you go back to what you want to do and what you think is best. It doesn't always work out either.
Payne trying to get something going offensively. Holloweel just ripping punches.
He is throwing some mean right hands. He's missing a lot, which will take a lot out of a fighter. Who hit him with a nice uppercut, Larry, on the inside. Holloweel did.
Now, you see Holloweel going in there with those uppercuts? Yeah. That's the wrong way, because the other guy throws a short left hook. It's all over. You got the drop down. You got to get close.
Yeah, he's throwing him from the outside. He's lunging.
Right. That's right.
There's a straight right hand by Holloweel for starters. This fight is scheduled for 6 rounds.
Payne is almost just trying to keep him off of him, and he's having a difficult time.
Well, I think what he's starting to do now, I see he's dropping down now and going to the body rather than standing up straight. Every time he stands up straight, he gets hit. He's got to go down low.
Yep, you're right.
Now this guy's going to loop a right hand. Watch him. Holloway.
Oh, good body shot. Comes with a left hook to the head.
Good combination.
Yep.
It's almost unheard of for a fighter to begin peaking at 38. Now, the point deduction by Campaneschi.
For what?
For holding, I believe.
Well, holding? I don't remember the warning, but maybe he's been telling him in there.
Payne really didn't need a point deduction at that point, as Holloweel has dominated the action over the first 2 rounds. We'll be back with more Ballroom Boxing, brought to you by Toyota on Home Team Sports. That punch, I believe, came right after the bell.
It did.
Came right after the bell, and we're going to keep it right here. We've seen action like that before, Lou. It's tough to pull back a punch as the bell is ringing.
I got news for you. The referee should have counted. You don't end the bet. You don't end him on his back.
And the question is, was Roy Payne hurt with that shot that came apparently after the bell?
I heard Gary Campaneschi. Just heard Gary Campaneschi talking to one of the judges at ringside. He said no knockdown. No. The punch came after the bell.
You're going to see a replay. Campaneschi coming in a little bit late there. I don't know if you can fully blame him, though.
No way.
Very
no
quick,
way.
very quick.
No way. That wasn't after the bell. If it was after the bell, the referee should have stepped right in.
Yeah.
In any event, will that punch?
There.
Well, it's still a 10-8 round for Hollowell because of the point deduction.
Sure.
Even without the knockdown.
Remember Buster Douglas against Louis Monaco with a punch after
Right.
the bell.
That's right.
And Douglas, I think that just about ruined his comeback.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Let's see if Hollowell's cleared his head.
Wow, there's some headbutting going on in there. This has turned into a real nasty fight on the inside.
I tell you, these guys are fighting. They call it a barroom brawl.
They really
It
are.
shouldn't have been in the ring. It should have been in the bar. These guys are really fighting.
Or a ballroom brawl, as it were.
And that got the right name, John.
I had to say it before Larry did.
Oh, boy.
I mean, toe-to-toe. Still don't know what that point was deducted for. We believe it was for holding.
Probably. Normally you see multiple warnings before.
Yeah. I didn't see any.
The action tonight from the Ballroom brought to you by the IBL's hottest franchise, the Baltimore Bay Runners. Check them out. Basketball, a new league, the Baltimore Bay Runners. Great supporters of Ballroom Boxing. Lou, it seems that these guys are working up a pretty good dislike for each other.
I don't know why. They're both getting paid. What's the difference? You know? But they're putting on a good fight. It's a crude fight, a rough fight, tough fight, but they're putting up a good fight.
A lot of head banging, a lot of elbows, a little blood from the mouth of Payne right now. The lone knockdown in the fight came after the bell of the previous round, and Hollowell looks like he's cleared his head from that.
Yes, he has. This is a pretty even matchup, as we said going in on paper. Although early on, Hollowell, very aggressive, getting the better of it so far.
I think this fight's going to come down to condition.
And again, Payne, 23 fights. He's only been beyond 4 rounds twice. Is he going to have enough left in the tank?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah.
Blood coming from the mouth of Hollowell. A lot of blood coming out. Correction, make that Roy Payne.
Nice right hand by Hollowell. Hollowell likes that uppercut, doesn't he?
Let him go. Break clean. No punch.
But he's throwing it from the wrong stance. He's throwing it from.
Almost out of desperation.
Let's go, guys.
Lou, I think you're right. This is a 6-round fight. You see both guys are really huffing and puffing.
Yep.
It's a conditioning fight.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be a condition fight.
Well, now you see both fighters kind of backing off that furious pace they set for the first 2.5 rounds.
Good body shot by Hollowell. Welcome back. Round 4 underway. John Scheinman, how do you have it scored through 3 of the midway point in the fight?
Well, we've been asked by referee Gary Campaneschi to discount a wonderful knockdown by Roy Payne in the second round, so I've got Hollowell up way ahead, 30-26 on my scorecard, with the point deduction that Payne lost in the second round for a mystery violation. He's just so far behind now that he's going to have to really turn this fight around to win.
Now Hollowell beginning to move around the ring, and Lou, he's throwing that uppercut from a leaning stance to his right. I mean, can he telegraph it any more than that?
No. If this guy just sets himself and throws left hooks, he's got to catch him coming in.
Break clean.
Now the corner of Payne features Pepe Correa, an experienced trainer.
Who worked with
Sugar Ray
Leonard.
And Lennox Lewis. Of course, a lot of people.
Simon Brown too, even.
Yeah, Simon Brown also, right?
A lot of folks felt that under Pepe's tutelage, Lewis really didn't improve very much.
He didn't.
There's that uppercut again by Hollowell. See Hollowell moving here away, not as aggressive as he was in the early going.
Different style he's showing us here in the 4th round. And you know what? I got him ahead unofficially, 30-26. He can afford to do that a little bit, change it up. You see both fighters using their shoulders on the inside. A lot of bumping and grinding going on in there.
Then there's the fight in the ring as well.
I like that. I like that. See, Larry covers the whole ring.
I've been hanging around you too long,
That's
Lou.
right.
He certainly does.
All right, Hollowell continues to move. Now, of course, recently we saw Oscar De La Hoya dance away a victory. Different level, obviously, but maybe some of the same thought process. Feeling he's so far ahead, he doesn't need to mix it up.
That's when, from his ballet lessons, he took those last 4 rounds.
Boy, these guys are really clashing heads.
Yep.
On the inside. You catching that, Lou?
Absolutely. You're going to hear some coconuts go pretty soon.
Little holding going on. Both guys have really expended a lot of energy. Nice uppercut again inside by Hollowell.
I tell you what, Hollowell just has a kind of a swarming, ungainly, unorthodox style, doesn't he, Lou?
Absolutely. He's a tough guy to fight.
Yeah.
Tough guy to fight. Watch, he moves his body, gives him different looks.
Boy, I tell you, you had a guy like that at lightweight.
Eddie Hobson. Right?
Yep.
He threw him from all different angles.
All different angles.
Round 4 coming to an end here in the ballroom. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing here at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. I'm Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno, and it is our pleasure to have ringside with us tonight the one and only Lou Duva. And through 4 rounds, Hollowell in the black trunks with a white waistband and Roy Payne have really gone to battle, gone to war. Jon Saraceno, how do you have it scored?
Hollowell, I got Hollowell ahead, Larry, 39-36.
A lot of blood on the mouth and shoulder of Darryl Hollowell. Now there's a cut right on the corner of the eye of Roy Payne.
Yeah.
Could have been from some of those head clashes.
That's right. Their heads, I told you they were going to start cracking their heads open there.
It's right on the edge of the eye, Lou. Not in a real bad place. Away from the eyelid.
Lou, who's the best cut man you ever worked with? I know you've also worked on cuts too, but
well, I mean, my guy Ace Murata had passed away. He was one of the best in the business. Joe Souza's terrific. There's a lot of good guys out there. Al Gavin's a good guy. Angelo Dundee's a good cut man. There's a lot of good cut men out there. The older guys know what to do. Not the other guys that got experience. And the worst thing I don't like doctors in the corner. They put doctors in the corner.
Why am I not surprised?
I mean, they go along with the rules and regulations. That's baloney. You got to take care of those cuts in there, baby. You only got 60 seconds.
I've seen you shoo quite a few of those guys away. We're all right, Doc. We're all right. Get out of here. Go on. We've heard that. Boy, he's really bleeding.
Look what is this?
Doctor coming up to ringside and waving the fighter over.
Yeah, that's not going in his eye. That's not going in his eye at all, is it?
No, it's on his side.
Yeah. So Hollowell's getting a blow here.
Some delay here in this fight. Kind of questioning why that was. See if Hollowell has gotten any strength here during that little break.
Boy, there's a lot of dirt.
Inside.
Yeah. Those are all fouls and a good warning there.
Warned both fighters. Big left hand by Hollowell inside and backs away.
And the blood continued to stream down the left side of Roy Payne's face. He already had blood coming out of his mouth earlier in the fight around the 3rd round. But I tell you what, Lou, he's still in there throwing.
That's right. Anything can happen. There's been a war from the first bell. I mean, it's been a real rough fight, good fight. And the styles on these two guys here, are really doing.
Payne a bloody mess right now, blood from the mouth and left eye. Hollowell is unmarked, but he did taste the canvas at the end of the 2nd round. Grueling battle tonight. between two 189-pounders, Roy Payne and Darryl Holloweel. More to come in the ballroom. All right, welcome back. Sixth and final round, Holloweel and Payne. Lou, what do you think is going to happen in this fight?
I think it's going to be the decision is going to go with the other guy.
And personally, I like the other guy too.
Well, one of these two guys will win. The sixth and final round is underway. Jon Scheinman, how do you have it scored through 5?
I like the other guy. No, just kidding. I think Holloweel has dominated this fight. I got him ahead 50-44, but I tell you something, I don't feel good about it because Roy Payne has really fought his heart out here tonight. He just has not been the quicker guy. He hasn't landed the sharper shots, and he's just lost every round. Some of them have been very close, but he's lost them.
All right, the words of Jon Scheinman. Sixth and final round underway. And Holloweel would seem, if he stayed clean in this final round, didn't get into any trouble, walk away with the decision.
You would think.
Now, Holloweel coming off a loss, which kind of derailed his comeback efforts. A loss back on March the 2nd of this year to David Washington.
Hey, Lou, aren't you impressed with the fact that Holloweel, 38 years old, could move and punch and work as much as he's done throughout this fight?
I'm saying these guys here really, they're fighters. I mean, they're fighters. I mean, and he's awkward beside that. You know, he twists his body. I mean, he moves his head in different angles. I mean, and he throws his right hand. Sometimes he'll throw a straight right hand. A lot of times he'll loop it. But I don't like his left hook. I mean, I don't like his left uppercut. He's going to get hit with the right hand sooner or later.
Well, if this guy can make him pay, I don't know if he even sees that.
Roy Payne's face is a mask of pain with blood and swelling around the nose. The mouth has been bleeding since the second round.
In other words, you're saying he was in trouble. He's been in trouble for a few rounds.
He's taken a lot of punishment to the face, but I got to agree with Jon Scheinman. He's still right there.
Lou, you're ruining Larry's poetry.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, good right hand.
Very nice right hand.
I've got Holloweel ahead by 4 points, so Payne's going to need a knockout here. I think everybody agrees on that.
I think, yeah, you're right.
I'm sure he's got the power. Maybe he does. Put Holloweel down at the end of round 2.
Well, maybe he'll do it after the bell again.
Gary Campaneschi, the referee, has had a job in this fight.
He's going to need a good dry cleaner when it's over. Some blood smeared on that blue shirt of his.
Come on, punch out of there. Your hands are free. Let's go. Punch out.
Really hasn't been a lot of lull in this fight, as we've seen here a little bit in the last round.
I'll tell you, this has been a hard fight for both
really
guys.
has been a hard
They've earned
fight.
their money.
I mean, win or lose, it's a hard fight for both guys.
Larry, I think you should give both fighters a bonus.
Absolutely.
Out of your,
If it were up to me, I would definitely agree.
Yeah, because John won't do it, that's for sure.
We'll be back with the official announcement. A hard-fought 6-round decision. We'll see who won after this. The only knockdown in this fight came after the bell at round 2. John, we don't hear the bell, but it did come late.
Well, Campaneschi on the outside, you're going to see him rush in here at the end. And they said it was not a knockdown. I don't think it's going to matter either way in this fight.
Only knockdown of the fight. A very hard-fought 6-round battle. Let's go to Pat O'Malley for the official decision.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. We have a unanimous decision. Judge Risher scores it 60-53. Judge Holmes scores it 60-53. And Judge Chevalier scores it 59-54. And the winner by unanimous decision, Darryl, triple threat, Holloweel.
So Darryl Holloweel gets it back in the win column, a unanimous decision win over Roy Payne here in the ballroom. And still to come, our main event. Don't go away. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, presented by Toyota on Home Team Sports. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Our pleasure to have Hall of Fame trainer Lou Duva with us at ringside. In the ring, Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission Chairman Carl Milligan Jr. and Executive Director Patrick Pinella, Ballroom Boxing on Michael's 8th Avenue, promoter Scott Wagner, and matchmaker Josh Hall present this 8-round bout in the middleweight division. The referee in charge is Bill Holmes. Judging the bout are Kenny Chevalier, Gary Campaneschi, and Don Risher. Introducing the Warriors. Out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed in green, weighing 159 3/4 pounds. He has come to us here in Glen Burnie all the way from Caracas, Venezuela, with a record of 15-5, 9 via the KO. Please welcome Luis Carmona. Out of the red corner, weighing 155 pounds, from Landover, Maryland, with a record of 13-1, 9 via the KO. He is one of the Fighting Fields brothers. Please welcome Anthony Fields.
A lot of fan support here in the ballroom for Anthony Fields. Jon Saraceno, take a look at the matchup.
Well, the tail of tape finds both fighters fairly evenly matched. Fields, the shorter fighter, must find a way to get inside Carmona.
And Lou, you know, you look at the record of Carmona. He's never fought in the United States, ever. All his fights in Venezuela, once in Puerto Rico, and his loss in Puerto Rico was to one of the welterweight champions currently, James Page.
Well, he's gonna have to be out there. He's gonna have to be able to show me that he can fight. Number one, these kind of fighters, either they're near champions or they're one-rounders.
Good point, Lou.
And a big challenge for Anthony Fields, John.
Well, he had a disappointing performance
absolutely.
against Eric Mitchell in March. He claims he's learned from that. We'll find out.
Here we go. Obvious that Anthony Fields, no sweat on his body whatsoever, Lou, and that's not what you like to see.
No, absolutely not. He should be warmed up. He should have some sweat coming out of him to show that he's worked out, you know.
You see how quick Anthony Fields is. Great hand and foot speed.
He could be faster if he was warmed up too.
This fight is scheduled for 8 rounds. Anthony Fields has been a pro since 1997. Had his winning streak snapped back on March the 25th. That loss to Eric Mitchell that you mentioned. Since then, he has bounced back with 3 wins. He's got a record of 13-1 with 9 knockouts. And sooner or later, Anthony Fields, John, is going to have to step up against some strong competition.
He's probably had I know he's had a lot of amateur experience, Larry, out there, you know, and this is that's what has the makings of a better fighter. Well, all an amateur experience.
And don't forget, Anthony Fields has been fighting not even 2 years yet, so he is still learning the pro game.
Absolutely, you know, and it's a good combination. You know, him, his brother team like that. You know,
right?
Both coming up to be contenders. I mean, they complement each other. You know, when they work out and all that in the gym. I mean, it makes for good boxing right now for these guys here for their career.
I see Fields has that left hand completely down at his side, showing no respect whatsoever for Carmona.
Yeah, Carmona, not much of a puncher. 20 fights, he's only registered 9 knockouts, so maybe Anthony figures he can get away with it.
Always the first here in the ballroom, it seems, every time there is a card. Next card coming up November the 18th. Give Michaels 8th Avenue a phone call for tickets to that event on November the 18th, or check us out on the web, www.ballroomboxing.com.
I wonder how many southpaws Carmona has fought. Trying to feel out Fields here, a little bit clumsy here in his first round. See the height advantage for Carmona, but he's not really using the jab all that much, Lou.
Well,
I mean, against a southpaw, they say you don't jab that much, but you still have to jab some. I know a great lead right hand is a Sunday punch against the lefty.
Well, every time he puts out that jab, Anthony, the other guy backs up and takes him out of range right away.
First round winding down. Not a lot of action in round 1. Anthony Fields against Luis Jose Carmona from Venezuela. That's the first Venezuelan to fight in the ballroom. We'll be back. All right, welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Lou, I really don't like the way Fields came out in the first round. Really nonchalant, really not really serious.
No, I think Jon said the right thing. He's dry. His body is dry. He's not loosened up. He should be out there really starting to throw punches. He should get closer to this guy here, especially since he's seen this guy backing up every time he flicks out his jab out there. He's got to get close to him in order to punch.
This fight is scheduled for 8 rounds.
Fields is going to have to make the fight. If he don't make the fight, it's going to be a boring fight. Because this guy is here to survive.
It's a long trip just for survival.
Lou, when you're fighting from the conventional style right-hand, you have to be more aggressive against the southpaw, too,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's why I say he's backing up. So it doesn't have the makings of a good fighter unless Fields starts making him fight.
Carmona holding the right arm of Anthony Fields, finally gets loose.
Carmona really trying to use his body. Not that he's that strong, but he's certainly bigger than Fields and probably stronger. A lot of grappling.
Carmona has him by almost 3 inches.
No knockdown, clubbing left hand to look like by Fields. Oh, I guess he ruled it a slip.
Bill Holmes waves it off.
He's walking in now, but he's got to start punching what he's going in.
Well, Fields thinks there was a butt there, and while he's wiping his face with his glove, he's getting clipped. Tell you what, this has turned into a very difficult fight for Anthony Fields.
He's making it that way.
There is a cut over the right eye of Carmona.
Yep, there was a clash of heads there, I think, Larry. Now he looks, no, it's a cut over the right eye of Anthony Fields. A slice, it looks like an eyebrow. Both fighters are cut.
Look, yeah, both of them are cut right now.
Yep.
Carmona's his right eye.
Carmona will not listen to the referee here now. Let's see what happens here.
Take a point, take a point.
Oh yeah, Fields squinting, blood coming out near the right eye of Anthony Fields.
What is the deduction for? And that is a very, very bad cut right on the eyebrow of Anthony Fields.
Well, why don't the other doctor look at Carmona?
Well, Carmona not bleeding as badly as Fields. Ring doctor up on the apron, wiping the cut, looking at it. That's a deep gash.
It is a very deep gash, right on the eyebrow.
It had to happen the way they were hitting their heads on the inside.
And they are contemplating stopping this fight right now.
What a bad break for Anthony Fields.
Well, it's gonna be a no decision.
No, but what I'm saying is to sustain a cut
like that.
Absolutely.
And also to fight a guy like this who you weren't even.
No, he's making him go.
They're gonna let it go. See if there's a sense of urgency from Anthony Fields here now to try to put an end to this fight. Fields has good power, especially in the left hand, 9 knockouts.
This has turned into a real fight of survival for Anthony Fields in his backyard. Against a tough.
This guy here is a survivor.
Yes, he is.
He had to come all the way over to. He should have went to Miami to survive. He didn't have to come over here to Maryland.
This guy came to brawl.
Controversial round 2 winding down here in the ballroom at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Now Bill Holmes again will call a time before the end of the round. He's taken another point away. And here is the corner man from Caracas.
Well, Anthony Fields is irate because Carmona continued to use his head on the inside, and Holmes deducted a point.
This round is over anyway.
I think the referee was right. I mean, the guy's holding out there. He's not making. He's using his head. Now he's also starting to use his elbows.
2 points deducted in that round, we think. We'll be back with more. We'll check out the scorecards and get the analysis from Jon Saraceno and Duva after this. Controversial round 2, a point deduction from each fighter, as well as a clash of heads and a terrible gash over the eye of Anthony Fields. The action resumes.
I think if anybody instigated the point deduction on either side, it was from Carmona's people. It wasn't Fields.
Those headbutts.
Yeah.
This Carmona is a sneaky fighter, isn't he, Lou?
Now watch Carmona, not only his head, but watch when he gets on the inside, watch his elbows.
Nice left hand in tight by Anthony Fields.
I said Anthony's got to make the fight. He can't leave this guy alone. He's got to keep pressure on him and make the fight.
But this guy's bulling Fields around the ring. He's using his head again.
He's holding with the left hand and rubbing the head into Fields' head.
Bill Holmes has got to get a little more active, making these guys fight instead of what they're doing right here.
That's it. See, he's using his elbows, Carmona, and what? He's going to bust him up with that.
Second warning for holding there.
Yep, good job by referee Holmes.
Nice little shot inside by Fields with the uppercut.
You know what? You got to watch this fight very closely because it's hard to see sometimes who's landing what. The punches are coming fast. Some of them are being picked off. A lot of those punches by Carmona are not landing.
Nope. You're right. And Fields is not taking advantage of it.
Oh, warning for Fields apparently.
For hitting on the break. So again, Carmona holding and trying to rough Fields up. Good uppercut by Carmona. Body shot by Carmona. So Fields looking a little frustrated right now, Lou.
I don't think he's finding the right type of fight. I don't think he's finding what the corner is telling him to do. I mean, he's just holding, trying to throw a punch. Look.
Good clubbing body shot by Carmona. So he's trying to load up with a left hand every opportunity. Speaking of Anthony Fields from Washington, D.C.
Lou, it's dangerous to take a fight, though, especially with, you know, let's say a South American you've never seen before.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Like I said, you can find them real tough or you can find them nothing, you know?
But when you
don't take those chances.
You don't flip a coin, do you?
No. You don't.
I guess they look at the record of Carmona with the 3 TKO bye over his last 4 fights. And we have another point deduction here. What's going on?
Right.
Bill Holmes, another point deduction for holding, taken away from Carmona. I think that got Carmona a little upset. Anthony Fields as well.
Well, Anthony Fields trying to go to the body. This is turning into a war.
On the cut over the left eye of Anthony Fields is busted open again. More to come from the ballroom. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael, Jon Saraceno, and Lou Duva. Quickly, let's get Jon Scheinman's scorecard, then we'll get Lou Duva's scorecard. Jon Scheinman.
I'll tell you, my notebook looks like a war zone with all the changes and scratch-outs I've had to make here, but I've come up with 28-26 Fields with the point deductions for Carmona and also the 1 point for Fields. That's how I got it.
All right, John Lou, how do you have it scored?
I got a 3 heads, 14 elbows, 2 kicks.
No biting yet, though.
No. This is ballroom boxing. It should be ballroom brawling. It should be.
Ballroom boxing.
That's all.
Yeah, really. We've seen some wild fights here tonight and some good ones.
Carmona looking for an angle against Anthony Fields there.
Now he's trying to box him.
Anthony Fields pulling out some heavy artillery right now.
There ain't going to be no boxing here tonight in this fight, is there, Lou?
No, this is...
Anthony Fields looking to try to cut the ring off there as Carmona moving from side to side.
I'll tell you something, I think Anthony Fields is a better fighter than he's showing tonight. I mean, I think he's really confused by this guy over here. It's awkward style.
He is really awkward.
He's not fighting the fight that he's supposed to fight. He's a better fighter than that.
Now Carmona on the outside, on the bike, hitting, moving, giving him direction.
What's this, an 8-rounder?
Yes. Fields just chasing Carmona around the ring right now.
Look, watch those heads, watch those heads.
Tell you what, this style, I think Fields is more suited to fighting Carmona. And Carmona's on the defensive and backpedaling.
One more, John, one more point deduction from Carmona, and Fields is allowed to wear headgear. A football helmet.
You mean a football helmet. A Ravens helmet.
Carmona's legs beginning to give out a little bit there.
Speaking of the Ravens, we got a former #1 draft pick, Dwayne Starks, in the crowd tonight, so maybe he brought his. And
borrow it.
Free-for-all in the ring.
Fields is really letting his hands go in this round.
But look at the holding by Carmona, and then just pushing Fields all the way across the ring. He's using his elbows,
I tell you.
rabbit punches. Lou, what would an old-time fighter like a Ray Robinson or a Basilio do with a guy like this?
Rip him apart. I mean, you start stepping around them and going to the body. They don't. They stand right in front of each other.
Legendary trainer Lou Duva with us here at ringside at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie. So this is a real brutal fight. Anthony Fields and Luis Jose Carmona from Venezuela. And the fans just turned on by the action, Lou.
Oh, that's the only thing to turn on by.
And a head job there by Anthony Fields as well. These guys have been banging heads, Jon Saraceno. It's a wonder that the one cut by Anthony Fields is the only one he has suffered in this fight.
Well, it's been going on since the first round, and if Bill Holmes hadn't deducted the points he did, I suspect that Carmona would really be laying it down low and hitting him with it. Well, we see Carmona, the last couple rounds, Lou, on his bicycle, really giving him a different look.
Different look. I tell you, he's a real cute fighter. But I still say Anthony Fields is a better fighter than he's showing right now.
No question. His style's giving him all
kinds
of
big butt right to the face that time.
Look at that.
A big headbutt and a low blow by Carmona as well. He headbutted him to the lips, Lou, and then followed up with a low blow.
I wish you wouldn't speak about low blows with me. I got Galata, remember.
That's true. That's true. Another point deduction here.
Good. It's disqualifying him. Disqualified him. Oh!
Bill Holmes has disqualified Luis Jose Carmona, and this fight is over.
What happened? His English was pretty good there. Carmona walked over to Bill Holmes and said, "What happened?"
Yeah.
Taking a look here, you'll see here, first of all, a headbutt to the face.
Ouch.
You can see their Fields right to the lips, and the low blow right there. Bill Holmes taking a look here. There's the low blow.
Man.
Carmona used every dirty trick in the book, Lou.
Absolutely right. He should have been disqualified. I think the referee did the right thing.
That wasn't south of the border. That was south of the equator. And you see the cut over the eye of Anthony Fields.
That's a deep cut. That's the kind of cut that in future fights, who knows?
Absolutely what can happen. Absolutely.
It's going to require stitches for sure, as deep as that is.
Absolutely right.
So Anthony Fields wins his 14th. Let's get the official word brought to us by Budweiser and Pat O'Malley.
Referee Bill Holmes has disqualified Carmona, and the winner at 125 of round 5, one of the Fighting Fields brothers, Anthony Fields.
Tough win for Anthony Fields, but that was his 14th. Back with more Ballroom Boxing on home. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, Larry Michael, Jon Saraceno, and the one and only Lou Duva. Jimmy Lange in the ring, and John, we saw Jimmy Lange's last fight in the Ballroom, maybe the most exciting fight ever here at Michael's.
Well, that's why this joint is packed on Jump of the Night, Larry. He's a guy who comes to fight. We expect a very easy fight.
We'll see. Let's go to Pat O'Malley with the Budweiser introductions.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission, Chairman Carl A. Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Pinella, Ballroom Boxing Promoter Scott Wagner, and matchmaker Josh Hall present this 6th-round bout in the junior middleweight division. The referee in charge will be Malik Waleed. Judging the bout, Kenny Chevalier, Bill Holmes, and Don Risher. Introducing the boxers. Out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white, weighing 158 1/2 pounds, from Smithville, New Jersey, with a record of 3-10, 3 by knockout. Please welcome Drew Mad Dog Hayes. Out of the red corner, weighing 153 3/4 pounds, black trunks trimmed in red, from Great Falls, Virginia, with a record of 8-1-1, 7 knockouts. GQ magazine listed him as one of the top 50 most eligible bachelors in the U.S. Please welcome Jimmy Lange.
Hometown favorite, Jimmy Lange. They love him in the ballroom, John. Let's take a look at the matchup.
Well, on paper, Jimmy Lange, the 6-footer, lanky out of Great Falls, Virginia, which just doesn't produce a lot of professional boxers if you know anything about Great Falls. The age disparity, Drew Hayes, 33, against a much younger fighter.
And Jimmy Lange moving up in weight. Hayes, a very solid 156-pounder. Lange's last fight was at 149. He put on weight for this fight.
Is that right? He's supposed to be a pretty good puncher, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is. Let's see how he carries the weight.
He makes for exciting fights, that's for sure.
And on the other hand, Drew Hayes, a very suspect chin. He's been stopped on 3 occasions inside 2 rounds. "34-year-older.
Ballroom Boxing is brought to you by Toyota, every day by Budweiser, the king of beers, Geico Direct Auto Insurance, Baltimore's Classic Rock, WOCT, and by the IBL's hottest franchise, the Baltimore Bay Runners.
Stop punching, stop punching. Take a step back, take a step back. Okay. Okay, work out of there.
Kind of a feeling out process here in round 1. This fight between Jimmy Lange and Drew Hayes scheduled for 6 rounds.
Jimmy Lange has never been beyond 4. 5 of his fights ending in the first round. Lost a 4-rounder to Kevin Collins about 16 months ago. That's his only loss in 7 fights. As you can see, Jimmy likes to use the jab from the outside, good boxing skills, and he can punch.
Lange circling.
And you see how careful Drew Hayes is being here in his first round.
I think Hayes got more experience than Lange does, you know. And so far, you don't know whether he can take a punch or not, you know, because he hasn't been hit yet.
The interesting thing is that Hayes' favorite fighter is Sugar Ray Leonard. Lange's is Hagler, but it's Hayes who looks more like Hagler.
Yeah, you're right.
Obviously.
Last time in the ring for Drew Hayes was August the 14th of this year. Technical draw after 2 rounds against Felix Diaz in New Jersey. When a guy at this weight class, Lou, around the welterweight division has to move up and put on that kind of weight, what's the biggest concern?
The strength factor, not just the weight, the strength factor.
And also, can he take a shot from a bigger guy?
From a bigger guy, you know.
Lange starting to get the jab cranked up there. And that's the end of round 1. Back with more Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports. I'm Larry Michael. Joined at ringside by Jon Saraceno at the USA Today newspaper and Lou Duva, Hall of Fame trainer. How many world champions have you had in your career, Lou? I mean, you probably lost count, huh?
18.
18 world champs.
And 9 gold medal winners. And 3 round sign girls. 2 bucket boys.
Jimmy Lange in the ring right now with Drew Hayes. Jimmy Lange really trying to crank up some power, working off the jab very nicely.
Well, Jimmy's setting down better on his punches this round, don't you think, Lou?
Yeah, and he's going to the body, you know.
Well, maybe this won't be the easy fight I expected. We'll have to see. Jimmy Lange certainly had a barn burn in his last fight.
Really laying it out right now, scoring repeatedly to the head of Drew Hayes, but Hayes is right there.
I've seen that fight with me for Johnson.
Right.
Oh, great fight.
Was a great fight.
Incredible.
That should have been a rematch, rematch, rematch. 3 times.
It's like 10 changes of momentum in a 4-round fight. Lange trying to go over top of that left hand of Hayes with his right.
Lange continuing to be stalked by Hayes, but Hayes really not being the effective aggressor, is he, Lou?
No, he just
following.
But he's not doing anything. Yeah. He's not doing anything.
I think Lange's doing a pretty good job of boxing and controlling the tempo.
Left hook.
Big left hook right on the button. Hayes is up. Looks like he's shaking it off rather quickly. See if Lange goes in for the kill here.
And Lou, don't you look for some poise from a young fighter at this spot, not to get careless?
That's right, not to get careless. The jab his way in, get close, and then
another big left.
Combinations.
Lange really setting him up.
Oh, just missed with that left hook, did Lange. Got a good short left hook, Lou.
Oh, that right hand
cross.
just buzzes by the head of Drew Hayes.
He's going to miss a few, but I tell you, he's going to catch up with Hayes. I think he punches too hard.
Work out of there. Let him go. Let him go.
I think Lange disappointed that he did not close the deal here in this round. We'll be back with the next one. It'll be round 3 when we return. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Round 2 saw the first knockdown of this fight. Take a look at the left hand by Jimmy Lange.
You're going to see a sweeping left hook here. There it is. Down on he goes on all 4s there momentarily.
Round 3 underway. Lange working Hayes over in the corner, now backs away.
Now Lange's got to show a little poise out there and box, and then get his combinations off. He just can't go out because this guy's smart enough to bob and weave and make him slip his punches.
Well, Hayes a little more aggressive this round, Lou. To realize he may have to take a few more chances if he's got any hope to win.
But he's going to have to throw punches to do
right.
it.
Hayes certainly is a fighter who certainly has some skill. You can see that. It's not like he's totally devoid of any boxing ability.
I tell you, from what I see, he can be developed. He can learn.
But he's at a size and power disadvantage.
Well,
in this fight,
he's gonna but he's gonna go up to middleweight.
Well, he's
Lange just teeing off right now.
He is pounding away, and he's got to get off the ropes there. Jimmy Lange, I tell you what, he really, when he sees a fighter go to the ropes, he goes to work.
Nice inside uppercut with the right hand by Jimmy Lange.
And Jimmy's carrying that left hand low like Tommy Hearns. I like to see him keep it up there and keep jabbing. And a little careless here, maybe doing a little bit of head hunting, huh, Lou?
Yeah, but like I say, he's getting too anxious. He wants to knock him out with one punch. You don't do it that way. He's got to show some poise out there. You know, when you do that, John, just like I always say, you're giving the guy on the other side a chance to get lucky.
You're asking for trouble.
That's right.
Nice left hand and a right hand by Drew Hayes.
That's just what we were talking about. Why doesn't he go to the body there, Lou, when he's got him along the ropes. I mean, yeah, he's taking a little bit of a chance exposing his chin, but shouldn't he be banging away when he's got a smaller guy like that?
Yeah, it's not so much going to the body if he drops down, but he's standing up straight.
Yes.
When he stands up straight,
he's a target.
On top. Yeah, on top.
And Jimmy's got to get a little more upper body movement, wouldn't you say? There he is.
See, when he goes to the body, he drops down.
Yeah.
See, that's what you have to do. You can't sit up straight.
Good right hand over the left of Hayes by Jimmy Lange.
He's a tall, rangy puncher, this kid.
I tell you, he's got good up movement. He's got, he brings up his uppercuts. He goes to the body. And then he comes right back up with an uppercut and he comes right up on top. He could be a good fighter, this kid.
Yep.
Round 4 is next in the ballroom. Don't go away. All right, welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, where the atmosphere is in a frenzy. Jimmy Lange in the ring.
It's also a good fight going on.
With Drew Hayes.
Who's watching the fight?
Let's check in with Jon Scheinman and his scorecard. Jon.
Well, I think you guys might disagree with me here. I got a surprise package. I got it all even at 28-28 after 3 rounds. Even with the knockdown Jimmy Lange scored in the second round, I think in the first and third round, Drew Hayes showed an excellent, educated left hand for a 3-10 fighter. I'm not used to seeing guys who are able to hook off the jab with the left hand. I think his work rate has been better than Jimmy Lange's. Jimmy Lange's been sloppy in this fight. He's allowed himself to get hit too many times. I got it all even.
Mr. Saraceno, do you agree with Mr. Scheinman?
Of course I don't. I got Lange ahead by 2. I just think he's landed the harder, bigger punchers, and this is professional boxing.
This fight is scheduled tonight at Michael's 8th Avenue for 6 rounds. We are in round 4.
Larry, can I tell you something? Every fight's been terrific tonight. This is a good fight card.
It really has been.
A lot of fight cards. This is the fight card that the fight fans deserve to see. Wars like this here.
And our thanks to matchmaker Josh Hall and promoter Scott Wagner.
Did a great job.
And you know what? It's Scott Wagner's birthday, so we should wish him happy birthday and another great performance by the promoter and matchmaker here at Michael's. What's Scott Wagner? Is he about 25 yet?
He is a young puppy, isn't he?
Tell you what.
31.
He's 31, huh?
Yeah.
God bless him. Lou, do you remember 31?
31 what?
Waist size.
Been done, beep, beep, bobo.
Inside, Drew Hayes firing off a combination. Lange has to stay busy in there because Hayes will make you pay, I think. You just hang in there and don't punch. What kind of potential do you see in Jimmy Lange, Lou?
I think I see a lot of potential in him. He can box. He just got to know the difference with his height and all. He has to know how to use his height to jab and throw combinations off that, and he's got to know how to slip and set himself up to throw combinations on the bottom.
And there was a sloppy wide left hook there by Lange.
He doesn't have them, see?
He got caught with the right hand. I think he's outworking Hayes this round.
Got to give Hayes credit, a guy with a record of 3-10. He's right there against the hometown favorite, Jimmy Lange.
He certainly looks better than a 3-10 fighter.
Round 4 winding down, a left hand inside puts Hayes down.
Just as I say that.
Really don't know where that power came from, but
that's a short left hook.
Hayes okay. The round is wound down. Malik Waleed allows it to go, and the end of round 4. We'll be back with more after this. Let's take a look at action from the previous round as Jimmy Lange put Hayes down.
I think we're going to see a left hook.
Short left hook right here.
Straight right hand.
Right there.
Left hook.
Yep,
I don't even know if the left hook connected.
Yeah, he hit him.
Did it? Okay.
Clipped him right on the jaw.
Right.
Good fight underway. Jimmy Lange, the crowd favorites, got it going again. Back up to the ring.
Oh, Jimmy wants to finish the fight.
He's all over Hayes right now. Hayes trying to battle back.
See, now he's doing it right. He's boxing out there. He's setting the guy up for combinations with that jab.
He's not just going for the home, loading up for the home run ball.
Boy, that left hook just buzzing by the head of Drew Hayes.
with Jimmy Lange's frame, Lou, it certainly looks like he could carry.
What did he weigh tonight? 158?
Yeah. I mean, he can carry the weight.
Absolutely. He can go big.
152 tonight, Lou.
152?
152 tonight.
He can go to 60 pounds.
He's a middleweight.
Yeah.
I don't know if he needs to grow that quick, though, or grow into that quick.
Well, I'm not saying
Right
he
now.
should, but we're just saying
I'd say he
ultimately.
could, yeah.
Boy, really laying some leather right now to the head of Drew Hayes. I'm not sure Hayes can hold up to that assault.
And Hayes just backhanded him there. He got so frustrated.
Beautiful 1-2 combination, right hand, left hand. And Lange has Hayes in a lot of trouble right now.
Trouble now.
Hayes barely hanging on up against the ropes. Another good left by Lange, and down goes Hayes. Oh, a crippling left hand by Jimmy Lange.
I think that's it. Fight's going to be over.
They only allow one fall here in Maryland.
And Drew Hayes is begging to continue, and it's sad to watch a fighter who does not have control of his central nervous system to be flopping around on the canvas trying to stand up to fight some more. Gutty try, but
absolutely.
Paralyzing left hand by Jimmy Lange. Here's a look at the action. Left hand will be the one that does it. There it is right there on the button. Lange backs off. Glancing left.
Oh,
straight right.
Right hand.
It's a straight right.
Buckled him.
Yeah.
Froze him in his tracks.
Yeah, there was no doubt at this point, as you see, Drew Hayes struggling to get up on the ropes. And the victory goes Jimmy Lange's way tonight, running his records at 9-1-1. That is his 8th knockout. With the official Budweiser result, here's Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by knockout at 2:04 of round 5, Jimmy Lange.
We'll be right back with more Ballroom Boxing. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing here at Michael's 8th Avenue. As usual, the crowd happy. Competitive matchups, John. Another one in the ring right now.
Well, Jermaine Fields should be the winner of this fight also, and he's really got to try to come back where his brother struggled tonight, Anthony Fields. Let's see if he can be the star of the show.
All right, let's get the official Budweiser introduction from Pat O'Malley.
The Maryland State Athletic Commission, and celebrating the kickoff of their 6th season of professional boxing, Ballroom Boxing promoter Scott Wagner, matchmaker Josh Hall, present this 10-round bout in the lightweight division. This bout will be for the Maryland State Lightweight Championship. Commissioner Phil Feaster, to my left, is holding the championship belt. This bout is sanctioned by the Maryland State Athletic Commission, Chairman Carlin Milligan Jr., Commissioners Ben Alperstein, Michael Arrington, Phil Feaster, Bill McCaffrey, and Executive Director Patrick Pinella, Counsel Bruce C. Spizzler, the physicians at ringside, Dr. Stephen Manikin, who is the chief, Dr. Ed McDonald, and Dr. Douglas Frankel. The timekeeper will be Don Risher. Judging the bout, Gary Campaneschi, Bill Holmes, and Malik Weed. And when this 10-round bout begins, the referee calling the shots will be Kenny Chevalier. Introducing the boxers, out of the blue corner, wearing the red and white trunks, weighing 134 3/4 pounds from North Beach, Maryland, with a record of 9-15, 7 KOs. Please welcome Theon Holland. Out of the red corner, weighing 134 3/4 pounds from Landover, Maryland, with a perfect record of 17-0, 14 by knockout. He is the other of the Fighting Fields brothers, Jermaine Fields.
Jermaine Fields and Theon Holland. Jon Saraceno, take a look at that matchup for us.
Well, two guys not very tall, 5'9", Jermaine Fields, Theon Holland, 5'6". Rest of the numbers pretty equal with the exception of the record. Jermaine Fields undefeated in 17 fights.
Every time Jermaine Fields goes into the ring, he risks that unbeaten record. Theon Holland is a very tough journeyman fighter. I think he'll give him a pretty good test.
I'm concerned about the referee. He's 4'2".
Kenny Chevalier.
He can take care of himself, Lou, believe me.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Ken Chevalier is in the Maryland Boxing Hall of Fame. And in fact, the Maryland State Championship up for grabs here in this fight at Michaels.
Theon Holland does not have a pretty record at 9-15, but his last 10 opponents have had a combined record of 115-11. So
wow.
over 90% winning percentage. So he's been in deep water, and tonight he's in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, he's one of those guys like Fred Pendleton, and you know, they got bad records, but they can fight. You really got to beat them.
Holland has lost 5 in a row, and included in those losses was a third-round TKO by a very highly rated Vivian Harris. Of course, that's the guy Vivian Harris, right, Lou?
That's my fighter.
I know.
Vicious Vivian Harris.
Is that what you call him?
He's got to be vicious with a first name like Vivian.
That's right. He has to fight. He's like, you know, the song that
Boy Named
Johnny
Sue.
Cash made, that Boy Named Sue.
Fighter named Vivian.
So Jermaine Fields, just like his brother Anthony Fields, really doesn't look warmed up in the ring.
I know that. I just told him the same thing. He said it was cold back there in the room.
Oh, you talked to Anthony Fields?
Yeah.
Boy, he had a nasty cut along that eyebrow.
He sure
Jermaine's
did.
brother, yep.
Yeah.
Before getting that stitched up, he's got to watch his brother fight.
Get him up, Fields. You got to get him up.
Good body work early by Jermaine Fields. Another good body shot by Fields.
Jermaine Fields has had a succession of easy fights. About the last year and a half, though. He's really gone through his opponents fairly easily. He's never even been beyond 3 rounds during that stretch. So he's continuing to learn. Young fighter.
I'll tell you something. He's got the makings of a real good fighter.
Yep.
He's got good moves, good balance. I'm looking at his balance, especially for a southpaw.
Ah, big left hand right on the button has Holland up against the ropes.
And Holland initiating a lot of those clinches on the inside. Trying to keep Jermaine Fields off of him, but I tell you what, you better start punching. He's waiting for Fields to get moving forward and initiate the action.
I like Fields. As he for a southpaw, you know, he's keeping right in front of the guy, throwing combinations at him.
Oh, another big left hand on the button. Round 1 in the books. Jermaine Fields unbeaten. Looking good in the first. Welcome back to the ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno and Hall of Fame trainer Lou Duva. Michael's 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland. Great to have you with us for Ballroom Boxing. Ballroom Boxing brought to you by Toyota, every day by Budweiser, the king of beers, Geico Direct Auto Insurance, Baltimore's classic rock WOCT, and the IBL's hottest franchise, the Baltimore Bay Runners. Reminder, if you have the desire, November 18th, 1999, the next card here at Michael's 8th Avenue. Tickets still available.
Larry, can I say something too? You just mentioned that. Let me tell you something. When I come down to the fight club down here by Scott Wagner, when he comes down to Michael's here, I mean, these guys are fighting. This is a good fight club. The fans are great fight fans down here. The fighters put out down here. You can't ask, the atmosphere is great. And what a night out. You can't ask for anything more. This is my style of fighting.
First-class operation.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you know, Lou, you think of club fights, you think of journeymen, you think of a lot of losing records, but you see some flashes from some guys here that you might think down the road could make something happen.
Absolutely. Some of these kids are going to be champion in a year or so, and they'll say, "Geez, I seen them fight down at Michael's."
That's right. Jermaine Fields unbeaten, 17-0, doing a number on Theon Holland right now. Now, how long with a guy like Fields? He's 26 years old, 17-0. As much as you like the ballroom and the atmosphere, he needs to get into the big venue fights to get a taste of it, doesn't he?
Absolutely right. He's got the now they're going to start the exposure movement. They give him the experience, now they're going to start letting the people know what he's all about. Just like Keith Holmes. Well, how many people know Keith Holmes? But he's a good fighter. You know, he's got to be exposed out there.
Let him out easy.
That's what you guys at Main Events do so well, Lou. Position your fighters, promote your fighters.
Absolutely. You got to take shots sometimes. You got to go out there and you got to say, well, let me see if my guy can fight.
Theon Holland follows a left with a right.
These guys are stepping on each other's feet a lot, which is to be expected with Fields being a southpaw.
Fields glancing to his corner there.
Well, they're waving him in. They're saying put pressure on the kid. And I think they're right.
Let me tell you something. Holland is pretty cute. Watch his left foot.
I saw that.
He keeps stepping on the foot.
Holland, a very powerfully built guy.
And he's got a good left leg there too. He's stepping on the other guy's right leg.
Good combination by Fields.
Good body and head work by Jermaine Fields.
A hit with the right hand, Jermaine there. The kid's not big enough puncher to hurt Jermaine, I don't think.
It's the end of 2 in the ballroom. Don't go away. Now we're having fun here at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Larry, Michael, Lou, Duva, Jon Saraceno. A couple rounds of the book. Jermaine Fields, get in there with those shots at the end of the second round, Lou.
Those body shots were great. That's what's going to hurt this kid. I mean, a couple more rounds like that, going to the body, you're going to see a different fighter out there. You're going to see a fighter that ready to be taken.
Fields always seems in control in the ring, John.
Well, he's just picking them apart in the first 2 rounds. Really, and he's outclassing him is what he is. Holland is not the same kind of class of a fighter as Jermaine Fields is. I think that's pretty obvious. And that's not to denigrate Holland, but Fields is a very talented fighter.
Maryland State Lightweight Championship is on the line in this fight. For more information on Ballroom Boxing upcoming events at Michael's 8th Avenue, log on www.ballroomboxing.com.
You know, Jermaine Fields is not a big guy, but when he stands next to Theon Holland, he looks like Godzilla. Yeah. You just see the power and size advantage.
Well, I'm looking. Look at his feet, John. Look where he sets himself. You know, that's
good balance.
Yeah, that's where he gets his
sets down.
His power from the balance.
Yep. It's good leverage on his punches.
For a tall guy, I like the way he punches to the body.
Yeah, he's a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
He really is.
Another good body shot with the right hand by Jermaine Fields.
See Jermaine continue to go to the body a little bit more because I don't think this kid's going to be able to hurt him up top. Wear him down, beat on that small frame, and then try to take him out.
He's a 35-pounder, isn't he?
Yeah.
John, I'll tell you what, want to make a good fight? This guy with Floyd Mayweather. That's
good
a good
matchup.
Fight. That's a good matchup. I like Fields.
You think Arum will take it?
No. That's a good fight. And he's ready for the likes of
because both guys are going to come forward.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, good fight.
Is Fields ready?
Yes. The way I see him right now.
Oh, buckled. Holland with that body shot.
I tell you, the body shots are going to kill this guy.
Holland's still strong.
You better get off the ropes.
Right uppercut by Fields.
Fields really starting to wear him down, Larry. The defensive mode of Theon Holland.
Well, what I see of Fields now, he could fit right in with any of the top 3 lightweights in the organizations in the alphabet too.
Digging deep to the end of round 3. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael, Jon Saraceno, and legendary trainer Lou Duva. Lou, you've had a good time here tonight, haven't you?
Oh, I'm coming back. I'm coming back and coming back until I do it right. That's all. I love it. I love the fans down here, and they got great fights over here. This is what the people have to see. This is a night out of boxing.
Yeah,
this is great. I think Scott Wagner does a great job here.
In the ring right now, Jermaine Fields, the unbeaten Jermaine Fields, 17-0 in the black trunks, going up against the veteran Theon Holland.
Oh, he is really teeing off on the inside.
I love that body punch.
Those uppercuts.
I love that body punching.
Doing a lot of damage right now on Holland on the inside. I tell you what, Holland's still game.
Oh, yeah. He's a good veteran out there, really, you know. He takes a good shot. And they've taken a lot of shots over.
Yeah. A little too many.
Over Jermaine, that's right.
Oh, the body shots again, taking a lot of strength right out of Holland.
Get to him.
Fields just throwing combination after combination, slipping punches. A textbook performance on the inside by Jermaine Fields.
Tell you what, though, Holland right in his face, though, will not go away.
Now, here's another question, Lou. If for some reason Jermaine Fields is unable to get Holland out of here, what does that say about Fields? I mean, shouldn't he be able to, at some point, get this guy out of here?
Absolutely. But he's doing it the right way. He's going to the body.
He's trying to break.
The guy's got a good chin. This guy's got a good chin.
His fight is scheduled for 10 rounds.
I don't think Holland can take this kind of abuse.
Well, he's taking punches now. I'll tell you, Fields is fighting a good fight.
Oh, Holland's wobbly. Another ripping body shot.
You heard him again right there. You heard him.
He's unsteady.
Yeah.
Well, how much punishment can Holland take? He's coming right back.
Good seasoned veteran out there, you know. But when it comes to talent, Fields has got the talent.
Been a good card from top to bottom.
Sure.
I mean, sometimes you go to a club show and you see guys that are just basically wheeled in from the morgue with the toe tag, and they get hit with one shot and they're done. We haven't really seen that at all.
This is a good card. This is a fight fans card.
I don't know what's keeping Holland up. He has taken a terrible beating here in this round.
Yeah, he's still throwing back.
Keeps coming.
Yeah.
And you know what? Fields is going right back at him, too.
Holland's got heart. Fields got talent. We'll see more after this. Welcome back to Michael's 8th Avenue. Let's check the scorecard of Jon Scheinman. Jon.
Oh, Larry, I don't think the fans at home need much help from me on this bout. But I'll tell you, I got a 40-35 after 4 rounds. I gave the first round 10-8 for Jermaine Fields, but I think I could have given 2 of the other rounds 10-8 as well. It's just a dominant performance. What beautiful execution of boxing skills here.
I would like to refer back to Jon Saraceno's comment that if he doesn't take Holland out, what does that say? Jon, you brought the comment up. We didn't get your opinion on that. What do you think?
Well, I think a fighter, when he's totally outclassing a guy like this, and he's on his way up as a contender, and certainly Fields will one day fight for some kind of a title, I think he should normally be able to take a guy out like this. But Lou makes a good point. This guy is a guy who's got a good chin, and he's going to survive enough to keep fighting in this fight. It's not going to be easy, but I think eventually Fields does stop him.
You're absolutely right, Jon. I mean, wait until maybe the 8th round 10, see what kind of condition he's in. But he should stay on that body because this guy's got a good chin.
I mean, I think it's a little bit of a black mark against him if this guy goes the route with him.
Well, if he does, I mean, but you know what? And really, in retrospect, he can say he's got a 10 rounds of world championship experience. He got
distance.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad.
I mean, big left hand. Yeah. It might be moot here as Jermaine Fields opening up. Has Holland in a whole lot of trouble up against the ropes.
Right now, he's looking like the Holland tunnel, and Fields is going right through him.
Oh, another clubbing left hand by Jermaine.
He is teeing off on the inside.
Kenny Chevalier will waste no time stopping this if he thinks Holland's in trouble. Huge uppercut, though. Holland firing back with authority.
Tell you what, Lou, a lot of guys with a 9-15 record who are 5'6" would have quit by now.
Absolutely.
Taking this kind of a
absolutely. This guy's got a good chance. He's a veteran. I mean, this guy's in it, you know, he hasn't got the talent. He hasn't got the talent, but I'll tell you something. He's got the will to win, you know?
He does. He does. They don't call him Brick House for nothing.
Is that right?
Jermaine Fields wants to end this, guys.
Yes, I think so.
Really laying it in as Holland in the corner. Chevalier is looking carefully, but Holland continues to fire back.
Tell you what, it's hard to fault Jermaine Fields at all. He's doing everything he should be doing.
I think he's looking real good. Real good.
And Theon Holland has survived another round. And a little smack talk there from Holland to Fields. We'll be back. The corner is stopping the fight. The corner is stopping the fight.
I think it's the right thing to do. He was taking the beating.
Theon Holland in round 5 took a lot of punishment, and that is the end of this fight.
He had nothing to beat him with. You know, he had nothing to beat him, no big puncher.
Where was he going?
Yeah.
Only going to take a worse beating. Jermaine Fields wins the Maryland State lightweight title.
Well, let me tell you something. There's 460 more states out there. But let me tell you, this guy here could fight Angel Manfredi. He could fight Floyd Mayweather. He could fight Ivan Robinson. Any of those kind of guys.
He can hang with any of these guys,
right? Any
of
these kind of guys, this guy can fight.
How about your guy, Arturo Gatti?
He's under 40.
Now, let me ask you this, though. If you've got Floyd Mayweather, do you really want a guy like this?
Well, again, it's got to get rated. It's got to get up there where they got to fight him. Right. You know, but I'll tell you something. He's ready. He's ready for the big time. This kid is ready.
Let's get the official time of the knockout, the official word from Penn.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO after round 5 and still undefeated, now 18-0, one of the Fighting Fields brothers, Jermaine Fields. At this time, Commissioner of the
Jermaine Fields is the winner. Lou Duva, thank you so much for joining us here in the ballroom.
Larry, John, I had a good time. I mean, even the Sopranos couldn't make me happier than what I would have been here tonight. This is great. This is great.
Lou, I know the folks here at Michael's love having you down. Would you come back again?
Absolutely. Anytime at all you want me, Mike. Larry, just call.
Next time, bring the linguine.
I'll take you out to Baltimore.
Okay.
Little Italy.
Little Italy, that's where we'll go.
There you go. Well, Jermaine Fields is the winner. We thank Lou Duva as we check the replay of round 5. Fields just tattooing Theon Holland. That's how it ended. Well, the 6th season of Ballroom Boxing is off and running. What a great night of boxing tonight from the Ballroom. The Fields brothers victorious, as well as Jimmy Lange.
Well, Jermaine Fields showed us, Larry, he's ready for the prime time. Anthony Fields had some bad luck. He'll be back. Jimmy Lange, what an exciting young prospect.
Great way to start out the season. For Jon Saraceno, I'm Larry Michael. We'll see you next time in the Ballroom from Michael's 8th Avenue for Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports.